Om Namo Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudirahet. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Muttama Shloke Bhaktira Bhavati Naishtaki. Vrindraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are going to read one shloka from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 3rd Canto, 25th chapter, titled as The Glories of Devotional Service. Bhagavan Kapila is instructing to Mata Devhuti about the process of bhakti. And in the previous shloka, Kapila Dev started with the instruction and giving an introduction to the process of bhakti, which is the bhakti, which is an ancient system. It is not a modern system. It is an ancient system of yoga which was explained in the former ages by the great sages. And this bhakti process is very practical and applicable even in today's life also. So Kapila Dev is starting the instructions about bhakti yoga process. So here Kapila Dev is saying to Mata Devhuti, Shloka number 15. Cheta khalavasya bandhaya muktaye cha atmano mata eshu shaktam bandhaya ratam bhav, where Bhagavan Kapila is explaining about the role of consciousness, Chetana, in our life. So Kapila Devi is saying, Cheta khalavasya bandhaya Cheta khalu asya bandhaya Muktaye cha atmana Guneshu shaktam bandhaya Ratam bhapumsi muktaye. So Kapila Devi is saying this Cheta means Chetana means consciousness. This consciousness indeed is the cause of bondage or liberation. How? So Kapila Devi is saying that the stage in which the consciousness of living entity is attracted by three modes of nature, Guneshu Shaktam Bandhaya. When this consciousness is attached to Sattva Guna, Raja Guna and Tamo Guna, that consciousness becomes the cause of bondage. And that is the material consciousness. And this is the conditional life, Bandhaya. But when that same consciousness is attached to Kṛṣṇa, Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes liberated. Ratam va pumsi muktaye. So, Guneshu Shaktam Bandhaye, Ratam va pumsi muktaye. So, it is our consciousness, Chetana, which is the cause of our bondage or liberation. And that is why our international society is called as International Society of Kṛṣṇa Consciousness, because it liberates you from the material bondage. Srila Prabhupada Ji is explaining this consciousness concept more in detail. Srila Prabhupada Ji is saying, there is a distinction here between Kṛṣṇa consciousness and Māyā consciousness. So what is the difference? Māyā consciousness or Guneshu involves attachment to Sattva Guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna, the three modes of nature, under which one works all the time, either in the goodness, knowledge, sometimes in passion and sometimes in ignorance. Right? So that is material consciousness. So any activity when you do under the mode of goodness, Sattva Guna, I have done something better. When one is performing an activity under the mode of passion, one feels very greedy. And when one performs the activity under the mode of Tamoguna, one feels lazy, lousy. The activities in all the three types, Sattva Guna is the best. But again, there is a consciousness that I am the one who is doing it. Rajoguna, I want more and more. Tamoguna, I don't care. So in all the three modes, there is an attachment. But when one acts under the Kṛṣṇa consciousness, then that's different. But as long as one is acting under the Sattva Guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna, one is bound. So Prabhupada says, these different quality activities with a central attachment for material enjoyment are the cause of one's conditional life. When the same Cheta or consciousness is transferred to Kṛṣṇa, Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes Kṛṣṇa conscious and he is on the path of liberation. So the consciousness is that I am able to do this because of Kṛṣṇa mercy, and whatever I am doing is Kṛṣṇa's service. That is called as Kṛṣṇa consciousness. So that is the Chetana. So that Chetana becomes the cause of your liberation, which means that when we are acting for Kṛṣṇa, working for Kṛṣṇa, then Kṛṣṇa is the one who is the enjoyer. I am not the enjoyer. So whatever the karma phala, they are all Kṛṣṇa's karma phala. It's not belonging to me. So you are not bound by anything. That is called akarma. Akarma means no bondage to any karmic reaction. So the main important point here in this shloka, in 15th shloka of this chapter, is that the bondage and liberation, mukti or bandhana, both are because of your Chetana, consciousness. When our consciousness is attached to three modes of material nature, Sattva Guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna, when the consciousness is all about myself, I, then that is Gunatmika Buddhi. That is the causing the bondage. But when the Kṛṣṇa is in the center of all the consciousness, that becomes the Muktaye, Ratam Pumsi Muktaye, Ratam Va Pumsi Muktaye, which means it leads to the liberation. So the Māyā consciousness, which is attachment to the material qualities and material desires. And this Māyā consciousness is the cause of our repeated birth, repeated conditional life, and all the sufferings in our life is because of the bondage to the Māyā. While the Kṛṣṇa consciousness is surrender to Kṛṣṇa, devotion to Kṛṣṇa, and it leads to the spiritual freedom and liberation. So one has a choice actually, whether one wants to go for Kṛṣṇa consciousness or Māyā consciousness. And this Māyā consciousness, material attachment, either to Sattva Guna, where there is knowledge, harmony and comfort, either there is a Rajoguna, there is a desire for action and ambition, or tamoguna, where there is a laziness, delusion, and destruction, they are all causes of repeated birth and death. Punarapi janma, punarapi marna. However, when we shift the same attachment from the body to Krishna, so one gets detached from three gunas, one becomes attached to Krishna with devotion by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By following all the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga and regularly studying the scriptures like Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Bhagavad Gita, as well as associating with the devotees, then one becomes liberated. So the conclusion of shloka is that the consciousness is the driving force in our life. Material consciousness, consciousness of body, consciousness of self-enjoyment, all are causes of bondage, while dedication to Krishna, the consciousness to Krishna, is the cause of liberation. And liberation requires detachment from material desires and devotion to Krishna. Right? So closing thoughts for this verse. Remember to shift the consciousness from materialism to divinity, to Krishna. That is the true cause of liberation. So with that, we'll pause here. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.